I went to my local council meeting, and there's 3 topics that I believe need shared with the public. My name is Lindsay Brown. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the 3 topics that were discussed at my local council meeting this month was NI water, NI bonfires, and NI freedom of speech. Okay, I'm going to make it into 3 videos, so please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get the other 2 videos when I upload them. So today we're going to discuss Northern Ireland Water. Now, 2 executives from Northern Ireland Water came to the local council meeting to give a presentation and to really explain how it's going to affect our local area. So the gist of it is that they don't have enough funding, right? So they've got a lot of plans in place. They know exactly what it is that they need to do, but unfortunately they don't have the guaranteed funding to allow them to roll out the plans that they have. Now, the funding is up to the Northern Ireland Executive, so it is definitely their responsibility to make sure that Northern Ireland Water have this funding in place and have a structure of reoccurring funding coming in to allow NI Water to be able to serve the communities to the best of their ability. That's really what they were sharing. So, unfortunately, NI Water are having to put a pause and turn down some new developments and older refurbishing development that needs done for housing across the Newtownabbey area. Now, they're not saying that every builder that puts an application form in will be turned down. It really all depends on the area and what infrastructure and items they already have in place in that area. But how's that going to affect our local area? Well, it's going to affect the jobs in the building trade, because it's not going to be as many domestic builds done. Now that has a ripple effect, on down. If somebody builds a house, they need windows put in. They need plumbing. They need electricity. They need gardeners to fix the garden. So this is going, painters and decorators to come along. So this is definitely going to hit our local area economically. Now, I've spoke to a local builder, and he can confirm that this is something that has affected them and that they are talking about on the building sites. So not only does it affect new buildings coming up and affect that whole trade, but it also affects the housing here in my local area, in the Newtownabbey area, right? So, we have a problem with housing as it is, but yet there's no more funding getting into Northern Ireland Water to allow more development to happen. So at my particular local council meeting, they decided that they were going to, pull a document together or some sort of motion together or a meeting. They're going to request a meeting with the Northern Ireland Executive to see how best to move forward with this. But this also affects the drinking water as well. Now, let me see what his words was, because I do drink tap water, but I don't know if I will be anymore. His words, the Northern Ireland Water, his words were that it will continue to have an effect on the water as well. So not only is this affecting new developments and developments that need refurbished, but it could also be affecting our drinking water, because they're not able to put in, they don't have the money to put into making sure that we're up to date and to make sure that it's all running correctly and up to date with new technology and new, I'm not going to say that's my forte, because it certainly is not. I'm just trying to find in my notes here the words that he actually used. Oh, continue to deteriorate. Right, so it's continuing, the water will continue to deteriorate because they don't have the money to put into these systems, to maybe revamp some of the systems. They're looking for a 6-year investment, and also with that investment and with the plans that they have, that could also create new jobs. So this is also affecting employment within Northern Ireland as well. So I guess what I don't understand is how, and I'm going to bring it back to illegal immigration here, because this is what I want and what a lot of the people from our communities want. We want the money spent on our country to make it the best as we possibly can have it. Then we can try and help other people. But while we're spending money on helping the rest of the world, our own, and in this guy's words, our own country will continue to deteriorate. He didn't say the word country, but he's talking in that particular aspect. But I'm talking in an overall aspect. You know, we will continue to deteriorate. Our economic stance will continue to deteriorate. Our local small businesses will continue to deteriorate if we cannot get the funding to make our communities better. And this is the part I just cannot get my head around. Why is the money not being spent in that? Why has the Northern Ireland Executive got NI Water in such a mess where they're having to go around their local councils to explain to these areas that they can't achieve what they need to achieve for the local areas because they're not receiving this funding? Now, we trust our government. Well, we don't, but we are supposed to trust our government to be spending the money in the right places. And I do not believe that is what they are doing. Right? And this then in turn is going to affect our locks. We all know what's happening with Lough Neagh. These guys were mentioning Belfast Lough here as well, because they have overspills and this kind of thing, and they need money to develop better systems. So guys, I don't know if you knew about what's going on with Northern Ireland Water. I didn't, and this information definitely needs shared, because our government need to be accountable for where they are spending this money and why they are not spending it in the right places to develop our areas. They just want to overrun our areas more without actually thinking about the infrastructure. You know, this is affecting housing. So they're bringing more people in, but yet they don't have the NI Water in place to let builders do what they need to do. I'll go back to that old saying, make it make sense. Thank you all so much.